Hi everyone! You know that question that asks if you could spend 1 hour with one person, who would you pick? Well, for me, I'd pick none other than Jim Henson! I'd pick Jim Henson because he's one of my inspirations and I really admire his work a lot. He also looks like he'd be a very interesting person to sit down and talk with for at least an hour, if not more, but if I only had 1 hour, I would totally take the hour. Now that's never going to happen, so I did the next best thing and I wrote him a letter! But of course, there's not much I can do with this letter, so once again, I did the next best thing, and I decided to read my letter to the internet. Because why not? In my letter, I wrote a lot of things that I wish I could tell Jim Henson if I had the chance to talk with him, or send him a letter. Here's my letter to Jim Henson. Dear Mr. Henson, hi-ho! My name is Shannon, and I'm a huge fan of the Muppets. That might actually be an understatement. The Muppets have always been a part of my life. I grew up watching Sesame Street, Muppet movies, and television specials. But I'd be lying to you if I said I was a fan all my life. I've always liked the Muppets, but truth be told, they sometimes frightened me as a child. There was actually one point in my life where I decided I did not like the Muppets, and I refused to watch them. However, that did eventually change. Once I got older, I was able to appreciate the wonderful sense of humor only the Muppets had. I saw the beauty in the puppeteering, and everything about them is fantastic. I am now a full-on certified crazy Muppet fan. I was actually happy to learn the Muppets were supposed to only entertain adults. It explains my dislike for them as a child. It wasn't completely weird. I love every single one of the Muppets, but I must tell you that there is one Muppet who has completely captured my heart. I used to think my dream guy was tall, had dark hair, and was handsome. But I've now realized he's actually short, handsome, and green. I absolutely love Kermit the Frog. I don't even know where to begin with him. He is such a great character. Here he is, this not-so-crazy frog, in the middle of all these crazy Muppets. He knows how to be serious and how to get things done, but he also knows how to have fun. I adore Kermit's facial expressions. It's amazing that a simple puppet can be so complex. He has a lot better facial expressions than most actors. Kermit is such an endearing character, and I love him a lot. Kermit has taught me so many important life lessons. Thanks to Kermit, I know it's not easy being green, but it's beautiful. So who cares? I also must tell you how much I love Bert and Ernie. I've always loved them as a child, but I recently went back and watched all the old Bert and Ernie clips that I could find. I never realized how funny they were. I love how Ernie would most always get the best of Bert. I also love how complete opposites they are, from the shape of their heads to the way they laugh. There really is a lot to appreciate about those skits. I think I enjoyed them a lot more since finding out it was you and Frank Oz behind Bert and Ernie. Knowing the history of y'all's friendship really makes Bert and Ernie more enjoyable and real. I'm 23 years old and I find myself laughing out loud at every classic Bert and Ernie clip that I can find, and I'm totally okay with that. I also want to tell you how much I love the Muppet Show. It was a brilliant concept. Here are the Muppets trying their best night after night to put on a good show, but nothing ever seems to go right for them. I love how Statler and Waldorf heckle the show. By the way, I'm proud to say I know which one is which. And I also love how you voice Waldorf. It's hilarious that you heckle your own show. I also love how the audience on the show are Muppets. It's such a wonderful touch. I know you had your hand in other things besides the Muppets, so I'll mention a couple of other projects you did. First off, the movie Labyrinth. I saw it once and it was great. It's been a few years since I've seen it, but I remember that I really enjoyed it, and I must watch it again soon. I've also seen your short film Timepiece. I'm only sorry I didn't watch it sooner. It was brilliant and I absolutely loved it. There is so much more I could write about the Muppets and how much I love them, but I don't want to write you a book. There are a few more things that I must tell you though. You're one of my inspirations. I'm sure you've heard this a lot, but it's true. You made a living doing what you love. You made a living using your imagination. You've created so many iconic, lovable characters for everyone to enjoy for generations to come. I never look up to celebrities, but you are the exception to that. You really are like a friend that I never had or even knew. I never realized how much a part of my life the Muppets were until recently. I've watched all their movies, seen Sesame Street, I can quote so many quotes from them, and of course there are the songs. I've listened to songs such as I Don't Want to Live on the Moon, Dance Myself to Sleep, and Rainbow Connection since I was a baby. You are one of the voices of my childhood, and for that, I thank you. Thank you for creating so many wonderful characters that everyone knows and loves. Bert, Ernie, Kermit, Ralph, Dr. Keith, Cookie Monster, Swedish Chef, Bunsen and Beaker, Miss Piggy, Big Bird, Oscar the Grouch, Fozzie Bear, Gonzo, Grover, Animal, and so many others. The list really does go on and on. These characters mean so much to so many people. You were incredibly talented. I am amazed at what you could do with the Muppets. I often find myself asking, how did they do that? The Muppets and what you were able to accomplish with them really astound me. If there was ever a creative genius, it was you. I really wish I had at least an hour to speak with you, but that's not possible. So this letter will have to do. You were once quoted as saying you hope to leave the world a bit better than when you got here. You really did do that. Except for leaving it a bit better, you left it a lot better. The Muppets mean so much to me and so many other people. The world would be a lot more boring without them. There is so much more to say, but I think that's enough for now. Maybe I'll write to you again in the future. I just want to say one more thing. Thank you. The world loves and misses you so much. Sincerely, Shannon Rainey.